If you are a reader and you are curious about what 2023 will bring, then this is the video for you. Hi friends, my name is Bart, welcome to the channel, and this week will be all about the 2023 predictions for bookish trends. Now, my first job in advertising ever was being a trend watcher for BBDO. So I thought it would be fun to brush up those old skills and apply them to what we're both passionate about: books. Now, I'm not going to bore you with methodology or statistics, but if you're interested in that sort of stuff, let me know in the comments and I'll happily share with you. But that's enough as an introduction, let's get into it. Now, the first topic I want to talk about is book covers and book cover design. How will book covers look in 2023? And there are three main trends that I can identify. The first trend is what I would like to call thumbnailification. Now, the internet and social media has become a major way of how we sell and market books. So publishers need to make sure that their book covers look good on social media. And this is where thumbnailification comes in. We are going to see a lot of popular books with covers that stand out and grab our attention. To do so, I predict that publishers will use a lot of bright colors, very bold fonts, and the use of a simple, uncluttered design. If there is anything at all on the cover, it's going to be one object or a simple vector-based design that is easy on the eye. All blacks and all whites are still possible as long as the cover stands out of all the others. And you've seen them already, covers like this and this. This is a trend that gained momentum last year, and I foresee that in 2023 this will be all over the place. Now, as a second cover design trend, I see quite the opposite of the first. I foresee very intricate, cluttered and luxurious covers. Covers with lots going on, floral motifs, gold inlays and sprayed edges. In short, book covers with a lot going on that look very luxurious. And with a lot of TV adaptations coming to the screen this year, I think that we will see a few reboots of old covers into this new style as well. These books are not just books, they are shelf-borne. And I will talk a bit later on why that is. Now, the third trend is a bit of a niche one and the odd one out. It's one of retro design. Black and white photography, toned down colors, very boxed-in angular designs, with a lot of references to the 70s and the 80s. While I think this will be a smaller trend and a bit of a niche one, I think we will still see quite a lot of covers in this design. Now, enough about cover design, let's talk about how we're going to read in 2023. Physical book sales are going to continue to slow down because ebooks and audiobooks will continue to grow in popularity. 2023 is going to be the year of the audiobook. I predict a lot of new players will want to enter that growing market of audiobooks, and they will attack the monopoly that Audible has today. Both smaller independent new players as larger brands such as Spotify will want their share of the pie on audiobooks. So 2023 will become the year that audiobooks will be everywhere. But it is also the year that the ebook matures and becomes very much commonplace. 2023 might very well be the year that libraries and publishers finally come together and find a way on how to lend out ebooks. Now, does that mean that physical copies are bound to be something of the past? I don't think so. I think we will slowly see physical books adapt a new role. Being the role of a collector's item, being the role of being pretty in a shelf. If we're going to buy physical copies of a book, we want them to be pretty. We want to show them off, be it on social media or to visitors, but they have to be book-borne. We will continue to buy special editions with sprayed edges, large photo books with beautiful artwork, or even books that offer those little extras like an autograph, for example. Now, before we get into genres and what's hot and what's not in 2023, let's talk technology. And if we talk about technology, we're going to have to talk about AI. Now, AI will be everywhere in 2023, and it will find its way into book publishing as well. Is 2023 going to be the year where we have the first scandal about the first AI written book? I don't think so, not yet. But AI will become an important tool for both authors and publishers. It will aid with book blurbs, it will aid with marketing text, and it will allow authors to write more books faster. And while AI art will not replace the artist just yet, it can help with preliminary sketches and coming up with ideas. So AI is here and it's here to stay. But that raises the issue of plagiarism. AI doesn't create anything new. It just takes from all the millions of things it knows and combines them. And a lot of ebook services, like Kindle for example, have their own AI which tries to detect plagiarism. So I don't think we'll see those AI written books just yet. 2023 will become the year of the big standoff. Pro AI or against it. And then there's social media. BookTok, Bookstagram, BookTube, they have all matured and they are here to stay. The days of wild growth are over, and while there is still growth to be had, competition is getting fiercer, especially with dwindling marketing budgets. Social media, however, will continue to drive people to self-publish, and we'll see a select few of those self-published authors being picked out by social media and given the formal publishing treatment. We've seen this in 2022 with books like this, and it's going to be a trend that's only going to get bigger in 2023. Social media has become a staple in publishing marketing, and it will only consolidate that role this year. And then we come to genres. We have to talk about what's hot and what's not. First, let's talk non-fiction. Science books, finance books, out of the door. They have had their spot in the limelight and they're out for 2023. Instead, books on politics and current affairs, be it memoirs or something else, will continue to drive those non-fiction sales. Another very popular non-fiction topic will be self-help books. We'll see them everywhere this year. Then let's get into fiction with a banger. Dark academia is out. We still might see some dark academia books drop left and right, but I predict that Babel might have been the last big one we'll see for a while. We'll drop the academia and focus on the dark instead. 2023 is going to get all spooky on you. This is the year that we'll see a huge interest in all that's dark and gothic and macabre. Think your Edgar Allan Poes or Miltons. Think horror, but not the gory, violent kind, but the ghosts and ghouls kind. And yes, we might see some vampires as well again. And then there's cozy. Now we've seen a huge interest in cozy in the second part of 2022, but I don't think it's here to stay. There will be still some books coming out with that cozy denominator in the first part of this year, but I don't think it's an actual trend. Yes, books might be cozy, but it's not going to be a genre. Instead, we're going to double down in what we saw in 2022 already, and that's the popularity of romance. Romance, be it spicy or not, is here to stay. We want our beach reads. Interesting romance ramped up in 2022, and it's not going anywhere. And one of the reasons is because you can go any direction with romance. From your seasonal Christmas romance to your queer beach romance, you can combine it endlessly. And this is what will allow authors to keep pumping out those romance books at an incredible pace. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it will be more of the same. I predict that we will see a more diverse romance. We will see more authors of color or authors from a more diverse background, as well as more diverse characters. Being characters from a different ethnic background, all the way up to their sexuality or how they're identified. There is a huge demand for more diverse fiction, and I think romance will jump on that trend. And last but not least, let's talk fantasy. Fantasy is still going to be hugely popular in 2023, but not all kinds of it. Dystopian worlds, climate fiction, things like that are out of the door. The world is dreadful enough already that we don't need to be reminded in books. Instead, we'll see more fantasy that's non-European. Again, diversity is going to be a drive that changes fantasy as we read it today. I predict we're going to see more Asian fantasy. I predict we're going to see more indigenous fantasy. And these themes will also find their way into YA fantasy. And if there is one thing in YA and middle grade that we're going to read a lot about this year, it's a coming-of-age story. Be it fantasy or not. So these are my predictions for 2023. And I'll happily come back to you somewhere this time next year to see if I was right or totally wrong. In the meantime, let me know in the comments, which trend do you think is totally missing its mark or bang on? Now, if you want to see if my 2023 TBR list is on trend, you can do so here. That's it for me for this week. Thank you for watching. Bye.